Beam destroyer laser out on the monitors. Gonna throw on the reverse. And here come the experts! Oh, and welcome to Blood Moon. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP. Snipes, Comia, Bean, and Crow on ANS. Vrin, Quiz, Hardly, and Sunflower on OSP. We're here on Blood Moon, which is a blood-colored moon with a very blood-colored star in the distance. And it's spreading out all over the map. OSP is kind of concentrated around the right side, but they do have some assets headed towards Bravo. Looks like the focus is going to be Alpha Charlie Echo Control. And ANS seems to want to try to grab everything. I'm not sure what they're doing. They might be adapting to whatever happens. I don't know. Do not know. We shall find out. Perhaps. Maybe. Or maybe I will simply stare at a rock and make the viewer guess what happens. I think that's a new modern art option for casting Nebulous video games. You just make up a bunch of shit and hope that people can follow along. Imagination-based casting. I obviously started this recording way too early. Let's go, guys. Ready up. I waited a little bit too. Oh, man. Well, I'm happy it's entertaining. A lot goes on up here. Most of it's kind of nuts, but some of it's funny. Drop down here with a bulk freighter that doesn't have any guns on it at all. Hello? Maybe they're on the other side. I hope they're on the other side. It'd be real awkward, people rolling in with naked bulk freighters. That's very silly. Okay, mass driver bulk freighter. Alright, alright. Sunflower, 2 MDLNs. 1 EWR tug, 1 LRT tug, 2 LRT tug. Alright, did you bring the track correlators? Yes. Yes, good job. Vrin has... oh, the bills, the monitor and tug. Wombo combo. It's also got a pair of gun shuttles off by themselves, 3 monitors in a group, C90s, T30s police, and a pair of Bellbird and PD support tugs with some C30s on them. Man, no one is bringing plasma. No one's bringing plasma lately, and it's been working out just fine. Hardly might actually have some plasma. Let's take a look at these. Missile shot. Okay. We go through quiz. Multi-mission tug, 2 torpedo arsenal tugs, 1 mining tug, 1 mining shuttle. Alright. There's a very slight variation from last time. A wing of rocket shuttles, or pair rather. Wings usually 3. And then 1 nearly naked shuttle for capping and 1 very naked shuttle for capping. Alright, these got 4 monitors. C90s, MLS2s, T30s. Oh yeah, look at this. 2 MLS2s per pair, or per set, with the last one having some containers on it, presumably decoys. And for soft kill, 4 C90s, MLS2s on the sides. Actually, 1 on the top, 1 on the side, and then a belt. Okay, the shape of these is all whack. It hurts my brain. They're all each one has missiles on a different angle. Alright, good luck with that one, Chief. Go to the ANS team. Snipes. Double 450 Axfords. Wait. Double 450 beam Axfords. Okay. FPAs and ammo elevators on one, yeah, FPAs and ammo elevators on the other. Not much of the way of sensor warfare here. No track correlators, no spyglass. They got parallaxes. They want to shell things. I guess this is like a kind of a trap build. So you use the 450s
response to monitors
and wait for something to get too close, and then once they get too close, you beam them. Concerned about that lack of anti-jam, but it's just something I'll have to deal with. Bean! 2 beam destroyers. Oh yeah, looks like we've gone nuts with the beams. Crow's probably got rails, yeah. And Kelmy's got a beam as well. Okay, beam. 2 beam DDs. Couple of gun Pinard Corvettes spread all around. Some blanket Pinard Corvettes. Okay, so this is just like a sensor fleet. Doesn't really have any killing power except for the beam, which is unfortunate. Losing one of his ships, trying to cap control on Bravo. Guess that's why these vessels were spread around all over the map. Crow's got a rail array with lots of fire rate on those E-rigs and a pair of bullseye spy frigs. There's the beam out on a dead destroyer, or a dead shuttle. And also part of the rock, too. Prowler frigate. Alright. Helmia's got some bombers, anti-cap beam destroyer, spy frig, some torpedo corvettes, and some nearly naked capping corvettes. Pretty light on the tonnage here out of the A&S team. Only 2 Axfords, no Voxels, no battleships, just destroyers and frigates and corvettes. Meanwhile, OSP's leaning pretty heavy on the tonnage with the monitors and the bulk freighters. Critical update from Sig Stackpole. ANS has grabbed Charlie and Echo, or OSP rather, has grabbed Charlie and Echo, and they're in the process of grabbing Bravo, which is, I don't know, they're not grabbing Bravo. Nobody's grabbing Bravo. It's a graveyard. Womp womp. They are getting shape on Alpha, though. And both teams kind of zoning each other out a little bit on the Bravo and the Alpha side of the map. I think ANS is going to be able to hold Alpha because Kami's anti-cappers over there. It's not properly oriented, though. It's got a basic in it. Kaboom. Bravo is off in the side that the big bloody battle happens, I guess because all the big rocks prevent people from outside of this lane from firing into it. And so you can really get over here with a lot of ships and murder things. There's a beam destroyer covering it. What are the internals of this thing? So it's got a Dragonfly, 2 FPAs, reactor frontline bullseye. Yeah, this is pretty, it can stand on its own. It's even got a blanket. Oh, right, the Axfords are down here. These things are a menace. You gotta know that OSP has... Or OSP knows that the beam DDs cover in Bravo, but they probably got no idea that these beam Axfords are down here and ready to murder things. No, don't come out yet! Okay, they're unmasking a little too soon. They really need to wait until these monitors get closer. Alright, he sees it, he's backing up. This is the game right here. This is all I want to see. This is all I care about. This is all I want to know. What are these gonna murder? Looks like the shuttle on Alpha has been railed to smithereens. It got beamed a little too. Or perhaps missiled? I think missiled, yeah, by the sprinter that's coming up.
The enemy is securing zone box.
Back to the Bravo point. OSP dropping some mines on Echo and covering Charlie with sensors. So this is really where the fight's gonna happen. Beam destroyer laser out on the monitors. Gonna throw on the reverse. And here come the Axfords! Can we hear the beat? Why don't I have any game sound? Aww. I'm getting the bug. The weapon sounds don't work. Womp womp. The 450 and the beams from the Axfords coming out. Burning out that beam down pretty far. Gonna kill another monitor. It's 2 monitors down. It's a big deal. We got some missiles out, though. Ooh, but they're command and they slam into the rock. If you get through the rock PD, and they get through the Axford PD, too. Perfect angling on those. In fact, I think these have almost no point defense on them. Yeah, they've got 120s on the side. Gonna have to dip behind cover or suffer another command strike. Yeah, no, and there's that second strike coming out, but looks like it's gonna get pulled into the rock. No, they're going after the one that's already damaged, or that's not damaged, but is in the open. Oh, the humanity. Okay, well, the fleet I was most interested in watching kill things is now pretty neutered. Both monitor teams can now charge these down. We see the beams are down. They're knocked out. I don't think either one of them is grayed. Okay, yeah, the one on the left is gray, the one on the right is red. But you can see that they're non-functioning because of the smoke coming out of them. Another S2 strike! Woohoo! Boy! Missile gaming. This is great. I'd prefer it to be cruise, of course. That's just the way that I am. But, oh, there's some good strikes. This ambush has been counter-ambushed by the S2 monitors, which are currently getting pushed by Bean. Recognizes that he really has to take these out. They're going to start carving through the entire fleet. They've used half their missile complement already, over half. But one beam DD is just not quite enough for a whole monitor blob. We're going to need a few. In fact, this beam destroyer is going to eat a volley of S2s on its own. A couple defenders facing, but not enough jamming to disrupt the signal. Bonk, bonk, bonk. There goes the beam. There goes the front half of this ship. It's got one restore. It's working on the beam currently, but that ship is in big trouble, especially if it continues eating hash. ANS in big trouble on the Bravo point. They're losing the Axford group. They're losing the anti-capper assets that Bean has. We're just down to Crow's backline with the rails, which are maybe doing work. Yeah, shit's on fire, yo. Oh my goodness, shit's very on fire, yo. Really need the 450 follow-up, though. And with the Axfords being down, there's just not any follow-up, actually. I think those Axfords can get to cover, and they can do a little bit of recovery. And they're going to be in really bad shape. Oh my. The thing about the missiles is all the instances of damage causes a lot of fires and causes all these crits, and it's going to occupy the damage control teams for a long time before they start healing compartments, unless you're manually managing all that. But even then, it's going to run into troubles. Meanwhile, oh god, I didn't even consider this. Meanwhile, there's a mass driver bulk freighter fleet at the back of the map, which has yet to be able to contribute because of the angling. So OSP is currently winning effectively a 3v4. More S2s out on the destroyer, make sure it stays down. Lost its restore. TD launching some missiles, but it's a little late for him. Bonk, bonk, and see you later.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Anus has no front line anymore. OSP able to dive onto the Delta Point with the rocket shuttle wing. Gonna get a free cap on that. There is a beam destroyer covering it. Yeah, having some issues though, firing into rocks. T on the outer of the red, getting moitorized. OSP going to be able to get that Delta Cap. They're already up 50 points because they've had the 3-2 advantage. But they're about to have a 4-1 advantage, and that lead is going to expand real quick. Oh, looks like a missile that takes out the Delta Cap. Those rocket shuttles really need to cap on the point and secure it, but they're not. They're leaving. They're going on the offensive. Rockets out on the Sprinter. Kind of too far away for the effectiveness, though. Oh, damn. Downs that missile launcher. And this thing has no restore, so that's not coming back. That's a very expensive loss. OSP rolling up the Bravo side of the map. Looks like they're not pushing super hard, though. They are going after the Axfords. Surprised they're not being more aggressive after those S2 strikes, but they might not be entirely confident in how much damage they've done. It's kind of hard to judge missile damage against capital ships sometimes. Because if you get all your lands in the same place, you can, like, gut the nose of something, but not truly cripple it. And on beam ships, that's a risk you don't really want to take. OSP's got the top of the map secured. They don't have to push. So they're kind of standing back and dumping fire down the field and staying alive. Got some rail fire coming out from Crow, disrupting the scouting elements. It is pretty funny to watch our mass driver friend up here just kind of fly around happily. Not really able to get the angle. But is not needed, like the team's not suffering horribly from it. Man. The anti-monitor build got murdered by monitors. In the only way. Oh my. Well, that's... Yeah, I think that sums up what I was gonna say better than how I could have said it.
The enemy is securing zone Comet.
Yeah, I think Axfords are kind of the hubris here. I think you need either beam battleships or like the S2 hell dump with Reigns. Orbital S2 Reigns are an absolute menace to the monitor blob.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure a beam battleship would have worked. I think the MLS2 dump might have fucked that up too.
Maybe. Really depends on the Stonewall amount.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of people bring double interrupts. You can fit them on battleships. But,
But you...
Go ahead.
That was an incredibly short-range dump, and if you're depending on beams, I'm pretty sure there are Seeker combinations that are going to be incredibly hard to soft kill at that distance.
True.
I mean, even command with that numbers, you just, if you don't put terminals on them there, then you kind of have to hard kill it.
Yeah, command saw.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. Like, if you can stay at standoff range, like we had a match on Solar, and 450 can kill it eventually, especially if you're leaning more on HE than
Walk,
AT.
we're getting feedback off your microphone.
Oh, my bad.
Thank you. Continue, Hybel.
No, HE has decent odds of actually killing a monitor ball because you do get penetrating hits on the front, and you will actually degrade the front thrusters as well as damaging the C90 mount. So that helps. But obviously, if they ball up properly and ANS is not ready for that, they can just roll them completely before they have time to actually degrade them.
Monitors are now steadily moving across the ANS side of the map, continuing to wreck the Axfords. And they're gonna get an angle on Delta Point. If OSP can secure the Delta Point, they're gonna get a victory. During that conversation and watching that fight on the lower D side, ANS has managed to hop a sprinter up onto Charlie and have captured the point. OSP doesn't have anything over here. They've gotten a little too greedy with how they were pushing. They took all the defensive assets off the Charlie side of the map and sent them into Delta, and they lost most of it. Chang's still back here. Ah, I see. That's not going anywhere or doing anything. The Mass Driver Liners could get up on Charlie and assist and kill that sprinter quite effectively. But seem to be wanting to help out with the Axefords. It's not super high priority targets right now, given the damage that they've taken. Hallmark Gift Store. Now that's a sprinter name right there. In fact, it's an empty sprinter name, so that's very good. Mass Driver's doing some good damage to the whatever vessel this is, Axford. Frickin' Smock moving out. The ANS just doesn't have the meat. These rail destroyers aren't going to be able to capture points. It's very much a win more device. And for that, ANS needs to start with an advantage of some sort. More S2s being fired out. They're at Act. And command saw. Alright, going after the bombers. Sure, you're getting bombed and graped. Dumping out their S2s wherever they can. Some of these are command, yeah. Pure command, no backups. With some very aggressive cork on them. Nice. Some allied defensive S1s flying to this tug. That's always fun to see. And it's slowly catching up. Only 60 points down now. Yeah, for $1 you can get shaved by an ally's AMM. Free of charge with this $1 donation. If the Hallmark gift store moves off Charlie Point. Oh no, the Chang is elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, there's not really anything up here. Cuthbert Calculus. I'm loving the names this game. Gonna run up onto the Charlie Point and possibly cap it as long as it doesn't get eaten alive by rails in the interim. Which it just might. Shit's on fire, yo. Sundrive hasn't gotten hit yet, but if it starts to take damage too... Oh, and a beam! Beam from the Brick and Smock. That's gonna disable this thing real fast. Rails have softened it up. Beam tears out the lower mid part. And the rails are going to continue, well, doing what they do best. Railing. Sundrive still hasn't gotten hit somehow. Ah, there it is. ANS might be able to project their 3-2 lead for a little bit. There goes Thompson. Hartley's got to keep his monitors together because they're too vulnerable to missiles. Beat mod, one of the beam Axfords, is heading up to the Bravo point. There's nothing here to defend it. Mass drivers and monitors can shoot at it. In fact, I think it's just mass drivers over here right now, actually. Yeah. So if this ship can get onto the point, it can start capping, although I think it's been disabled. Yeah, the reinforcement's been knocked out. It's been CIC'd, as we say in the biz. Does get onto the Bravo point, though. Might be able to secure a cap. That'd be a pretty huge deal. Does it have any octosteering left alive? No, no. No, it doesn't look like it. Comedy club's out in force tonight. Man, it is actually surreal watching these mass drivers do fuck all to this Axford. Just read it out, and they just can't keep it from capturing this point. Unless they can't break the DT on everything. They can't break the DT on anything. Not a finishing tool, not in the slightest. Can dish out some damage on healthy ships, but not gonna do anything to the red ones. A&S somehow has managed to get a 4-1 advantage, and they have just hopped over the hump. They now have a lead on the OSP. OSP's managed to hemorrhage a lot of their assets. Yeah, I was not expecting that after those Axfords went down early on, and the Beam Destroyer went down early on the Bravo point. I thought it was over. Not even close. A&S picking up a big lead real fast. Yeah, the OSP really needed to push those monitors over the top and execute the Axfords with the Hesh. That did not happen. Axfords are some of the best ships to resurrect in the game. Look at the Brick and Smock. Look at that. Moderately autumnal. So the reason these are so effective and why you always have to finish them off is because they can afford to bring a lot of damage control and a lot of restores, one. So even if they get knocked down to only one restore, they can often chain a bunch of large lockers together to recover a bunch of their capability. Whoa, beam out! Wow, we're going over this on the UU. Bloodhound LRT. That's not going to be able to take the Bravo point, not with the beam axe in range. But the most important thing is they have the bonus repair capacity, so they can repair up to 25% above whatever the lowest threshold that they ever got in the HP of a given component down to. That was probably worded worse than it could have been. Which is damn sight better than the normal 10% that all the rest of the vessels have. And that allows them to recover up to, if they have time to sit and repair, recover up to fighting fit from near dead. Which is pretty good. OSP does manage to recap the Bravo point, but not before eating a 50-point deficit in just a matter of moments. A&S still has control on the Charlie point. They've got strong control on the Alpha point. They got strong control on the Delta point. All that's left for OSP is over here on Bravo, and they're struggling to lock that down. They've got some mines on the Echo side of the map, keeping control of that. A&S not inclined to push. Beam! Another beam out! From the Beam Axford! Death. Death and violence. Rails and Beam are a pretty lethal combination. Rails dump fires all over the place. Beam's gut components, especially ones that have been damaged. Oh boy. I think OSP's in trouble. They're down 3-2. They don't really have the front line anymore. And they're down 60 points. Indiolans are quite healthy. They could actually probably hop onto a mat. They could go after Charlie, maybe. I don't know. That one alive Beam expert's doing all the work of the ANS frontline. Bean's got Bean also has a little destroyer down hovering around the Delta point, but the Brick and Smock is the anchor for this entire team. Zoning out all the monitors on the Bravo side and preventing the Indiolans to push in. Although it doesn't look like they're trying to do that anyways. Just throwing cannonade down the field. Looks like I had a pretty bad track, unfortunately. Yeah, R400's down on that one. EWR, I think they're firing at an EWR track, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. That's what these missiles are. They're firing at an EWR track. Come on, bro, you can't be doing that. Just a waste of ammo at that point. I think ANS is gonna win this game. He says Quiz has the Komorodaku hiding behind the beat mod. Keep it from getting beamed. Freaking Smock continuing to move around. Oh yeah, these things have 120s as well. Almost no anti-missile defense. Just the damage, man. I thought the 450 120 builds couldn't get any more lethal. Well, you throw away the 450, throw away all the sensor warfare, staple a beam on that shit. And Boomala, very lethal. Yeah, the instant type 2 hit. Now let's start reading some of the ship names. Queen Corvid, Railwind, Detus Deletus, Destroyer of Worlds, the entire cult of rail players. Very silly. Very silly. I think ANS has this game. These monitors are completely zoned out by the rails and the beams, which there are a great many. And that's all that's left on the field. There's Tug. They can't get anything done. Yeah, it's currently getting railed. Bro doing a phenomenal job with those railguns. Another ship that's parked on Bravo to keep it on OSP side. And the Indiolans can't really push without suffering immense damage from the beam ships either. Breaking Swak, MVP. No question about it. This is the core of this fleet right here, this one single ship. So instead of watch the next 9 minutes-ish of OSP try to get a cap on Charlie or try to get a cap on Delta and get beamed to fuck for the troubles, we're going to skip to the after action report. I will see you in a second. Hello, and welcome to the After Action Report.
Huh.
That was a real fucker of a game. I thought it was over after Hardly hell dumped the Beam experts.
Good scraps.
Team 1 managed to turn it around, breaking Smock with almost 30,000 damage. Woo!
Damn.
2, 4, 6.
That was a
8.
damn good ambush. I will say that. Yeah. Good ambush
We
up there.
got Doofus into thinking they were CLs from the RPF, so that was a nice bit of deception.
Yeah.
Quiz could have metagamed a little bit instead of you see me run this.
Yeah, I seen you do it. I was
You
like,
did
those are. I was actually looking at RPF. I was thinking, hey, those are pretty small caliber rounds. I don't know if those are seals, but I didn't really say anything because I wasn't sure. But I knew you played those afterwards.
And then suddenly it was like three beams out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh shit, one is fine, but three, ah!
I mean, I think it worked out because it saved Hardly from getting a beam ambush, and he managed to get his missile dump off.
It did, but it really I should not put myself there. That was I was expecting a single or 2 beam destroyers, in which case I could jam out one and deal with the other. Yeah, forgot about beam experts.
Losing most of one of our front lines was pretty
bad.
heavy blow in that opening exchange.
You did pretty much eliminate me for like, well, I was able to zombie back both of my experts,
Yeah,
but it took a long time for me to do it.
but you did zombie back, and you were like a threat, and you eventually took B back. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that one expert just never died. I don't
Yep.
know.
Never say never.
Please, I got shots on like your whole fleet.
Yeah, without any 450, we didn't really have a quick killing capability.
I should take for
And there were
50.
plenty of other targets that we needed to hit with the monitors.
I should take for 50 liners next time, maybe. That would be fun.
That would probably.
Yeah, or even
a lot-
like,
Yeah.
if you do want to bring mass drivers, one mass driver liner and one 450 liner can go pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
You just play them at the different ranges, but mass driver to read stuff out, and then 450 to break it.
But yeah, very good job on the beam ambush. Anyways, this is gonna be the last match I play, so bye everybody!
Alright.
Good night.
How'd the bombers go? Who had that fleet?
I think
I
it's
just got
Damien.
picked up on a long or a bloodhound and just couldn't shake it.
Ah,
But I did pretty decent damage before then. I'm not gonna complain.
About 15k? Not bad.
Okay, that's the end of that game. That's the end of the discourse on that game. I should ready up here. Womp womp. That was a good match. That was all over the place, as people said. That was, I mean, it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till the Dargaribdus sings. Alright, well, obviously we've been a plague on the English language and its metaphors for long enough. So I wish you farewell. I have a Discord, links down in the description. I have a Patreon, that link's down in the description too. If you want to come by, if you want to hang out, if you want to support me, those things are available for you. If you don't want to do any of that, if you just like watching, that's fine too. These videos are for you. I hope you enjoy, dear viewer. Good night.